Hello everybody and welcome to, what is this, a Banter Blitz special? And I believe we can call it that. It's pretty much regular Banter Blitz, except that I only play against players rated below 1600. And the reasons for this special are a few. I don't really know, I should have thought this through before. I have a feeling like the last shows I've mainly played strong players. One I was playing in the challenge pool, so I mainly got paired with players close to my rating, who mainly crushed me. And then the next show, which will start in an hour, will be a special Banter Blitz number 100 tournament thingy. But playing in a tournament normally also means that I will be paired with higher rated players, because I'm at least expecting to win my first couple games and therefore be paired with mainly high rated guys, which means our beloved, what's the politically correct term? Putzers, I believe is the word. Putzers don't get a chance to play their games as much in the last couple shows, which they should be as well, because I love every premium member equally and I also do love winning. So playing against sub 1600 should give me better chances to win my games. Therefore, if you're mainly watching this show to see exciting close fights over the chessboard, or the real reason to see me go into a spiral of self-loathing and contempt and Weltschmerz after losing a game, you can probably skip this one, since I will be a favorite to win most of my games, and you can come back in an hour when we will start this birthday, is it called birthday? Anniversary? It's just show 100, right? Anyway, the tournament where I'll probably get crushed. So, having given this exciting speech, and since we only have a little less than an hour, let's get started ASAP Rocky by beating you guys up. I've been sick. It's very annoying to be sick. I kind of knew that. Then again, being sick, to my mind, also has its pluses, because it makes me forget about the many things I normally worry about, like is this theory: a healthy dude has 1,000 wishes, sick guy only has one wish. So, yeah, that's the plus, but still, I'll try to get back to healthy again. It does not really overweigh the cons, I would say. Anyway, I want to start a game, so let's start with as tough a guy as you can get in a sub 1600 show, because Mr. Shafi is 1597. Did you just sandbag your way here by losing a game from 1605? I guess that's okay. d4, knight f6, knight f3. I will play g6. Another character trait of mine is I like to feast on the weak and show off my versatility only in games where I consider myself a great favorite to win. So you won't normally see me play the King's Indian, but here, since I'm so sure of myself, I'll do it and probably regret it horribly in no time. He plays this reasonably trendy system with e4 and h3. After e5, you can either take, queen d8, rook d8, knight d5, or you can go d5 like our boy Tomaszewski normally does, and then try to squeeze me. Bishop e3 is interesting, but I don't like it as much, because here, to my mind, e4 looks good, and now trying to attack the e4 pawn. My point is that if he goes f3 here, then it won't be very harmonious with the move h3 because of the dark square holes. Well, after bishop d3, I can continue questioning this pawn on e4 by going knight bd7 and a very quick knight to c5, which seems to be tricky to meet. Another thing I should probably ask is, can you guys hear me and see me? And I haven't been to the studio for a while because of this crippling sickness and because I was on the road. So I was on the road sick. Therefore, let me know if stuff works, or if it's the usual of kinda doesn't work, it's buffering a lot. But yeah, some people can see me, so that's the level we're shooting for here. I'm opening le chat, as I like to call it. What are we talking about? There's sick and then there is sick. Yeah, I haven't been really sick. I've had a cold, but I'm a whiner, Carl, so I did not mean to, make it sound as if I'm dying. But you know, man flu is a serious, serious thing. It gives me a slightly deeper voice though, so it's not all bad. Like, I'm wondering if I could, audition for Lego Batman with my sick voice. But probably not. Can't defeat Will Arnett. So, back to chess. I'm trying to feast, and I'm saying feast a lot today, on these squares on the king side that I was talking about, because h3 and f3 don't mix so well. g3, h4, f4, this whole complex of squares is a little weakened, and by playing knight h5, maybe queen h4, bishop e5, whatever, I'll try to make something happen, and we'll see if that gives me anything. James Maskell says, expletive Jan voice. What bad thing could you possibly have said, Mr. James, that brought our censors onto your case? Of course, everything I said earlier, the usual. I haven't really changed just because of this life-altering experience of having a flu. And I still want to take your pawns and then somehow win on time. Bishop b6 now. Let's start paying some attention to your many weaknesses as a person, Shafi. I know nothing about you, so it will be hard to bring them all to light here, but I have a feeling that you do not love your h3 pawns as much as they love you. f4 I can take. Ooh, I might lose this game. Ugh, I'm such an arrogant a-hole. Because enjoying myself way too much as usual, I missed queen f3 when this bishop can't. Oh boy, this is sad, but well deserved, and may it serve as a warning for my future endeavors. Well, because now after queen f3, this bishop can't really move, since queen f7 would be a problem. So I'm kind of lost. Good game, Jan. And we have managed the thing we thought would not happen, or I thought would not happen in this show, that I might get through one show without steaming and self-loathing and self-hatred for my horrible level of chess. But Shafi exposed my... what's the correct word? Yeah, I like to think it's mainly arrogance, and that had I focused harder, I would have been able to spot that. But if arrogance is the best case scenario, it also does not speak very highly for me. Can something speak for me? I guess so. What are we talking about? James Maskell said sexy? Sexy gets censored in the chat? Wow, that's strict. Kung Fu Yanda. Yeah, I've always idolized Kung Fu Panda. He seems to have a lot of wisdom and things seem to come easy to him. It's like, he's very zen. I lack that zenness, even though I've been searching for it my whole life. Just a sense of balance. I was never really able to find it. And in this position, I also think that there is no more balance, because his bishop on f6 is a powerhouse. It will forever make sure that my king can't go anywhere, and therefore be worth more than the couple pawns that I collected. I will, of course, win on time, but even that might not really stop me from drifting into the spiral of self-loathing that I was talking about earlier. E5 gave me a bit of a breather, because now my king has some squares again, and I might not even be hopelessly lost objectively anymore. But I think I'm actually okay. But it's hard to feel too proud about that accomplishment. Even though, a little proud maybe. And Perpetual Stalemate sums it up well, because normally if I had like any planning skills or dignity or both, we should make such shows against sub 1600, some material odds show or something. But I managed to make it, as Perpetual Stalemate calls it, an involuntary material odds show. And that does sum it up fairly well. And Shafi, also has to be said, playing very well. Not very well, but well. No worse than me. Even though, of course, he's playing slower than me, which often is worse than playing worse than me. Ugh, I'm sweating. This might be the flu. The crippling flu. Is that offensive to people with real illnesses? I don't mean to be too offensive. Like, it's hard to be like mildly entertaining without ever offending anybody. But I'm trying to tiptoe that line and failing more and more. I never fail flagging opponents that I do outrate by 1,000. 400 points, I've been losing some points. But good game by Shafi. Gasbob says, no problem with stream here. See, it's all in my head. That's what my shrink always keeps telling me. It's all in your head, Jan. My shrink is in my head too, so I imagine he would say that. Let's play against Gary24. Mr. Gary. What do we do against Gary? DBs is posting the link to the thing in the chat. Can I... Tekjan should probably be able to bring this up somehow. It might be too slow for anybody, too small for anybody to read it. Oh, now it's gone. Ah, because I'm an idiot. Tekjan, focus. Why? Stop doing this. Anyway, let's make a move first. Let's play this horrible move. Then try again to bring up the link in the possibly dumbest fashion possible. Because now if I make this bigger... he's talking to me. I should join the tournament. It's my tournament. Allow me to join. Join. Boom, I joined. So the only point of a6 is that d4 is supposed to be a mistake. c3 or c4 or g3 are all good moves, leaving white better. But the point is supposed to be that after d4, cd, knight d4, knight f6, if white goes knight c3, we have the move e5. And here white does not have the move knight b5, while knight f5 is well met by playing d5. Therefore, this line is considered to be fine for black. That's really the only idea, and therefore I don't endorse this line because c3 or c4 or g3 are all bad for white in my book. Queen d2 is an odd way to unpin yourself because I can still take on e4. So my best guess is that this is a mouse slip and Gary wanted to play bishop d2, but then the queen ended up going to d2. And if that theory is correct, I'm very sorry, Gary, but no takebacks. I don't know how takeback. Do we have takebacks? I don't think we have takebacks on this side. Knight e4, queen d3, d5, which I actually kind of like that we don't have takebacks, mainly because I'm a dirty player, but also because to my mind it's in the spirit of chess. Like in an over-the-board game, you touch a piece and you put it somewhere, you can't take it back. Now I understand there's added risks with the mouse and mouse slip potential, but that is a part of internet chess and it's the same risk for all of us. Therefore, I kind of like the no backsies policy. And Moritz Florian likes repeating his question about Nicolas. It's Nicolas, not Niklas. Nicolas Lubbe doing a good job filling in for me at the World Cup commentary. That's good to hear. I've been busy and sick, so sick busy, I believe is the correct term. But I will be back. I will do... it's a 3-minute game? Yeah, it was normally gonna lose on time, but now King of Lego People did warn me, so probably I'm gonna manage. Anyway, yeah, I'll do World Cup commentary tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. So the 2 remaining days of the, whatever it is, octavo finals? I don't know the word. So I'll do it in my native tongue of the German. Therefore, yeah, German speakers, feel free to join my great World Cup show tomorrow. After that, it's anybody's guess how we shall continue with the World Cup. Of course, on the one hand, it's exciting to have all these upsets, but it's also a bit sad not to have Carlsen, Caruana, Nakamura, Kayakin, Vichy around. Like, the tournament did lose a little something, and I'm a little worried that interest will also not be as big as if we had all these stars around. Then again, our boy, Peter Benjaminovich Svidler, is still very much in the race, so certainly someone to root for, at least for me. You guys root for whoever you like, but it's hard to root against Peter, even for the most cynical haters out there, such as myself. Hard to root against the guy. Anyway, he's still in there. He's playing Bu Shangji, and of course we're hoping that Peter can make another deep run in this World Cup after finishing runner-up in 2015. We'll remember how close I was, and winning the thing in 2011. I did win the thing against Gary 24. Thanks for the game, Mr. Gary. Shall we play another one? What about egal? Ist mir egal, mir ist wieder mal alles egal. See, I don't even curse in German on these shows. That's how disciplined I am. How good my potty training has been. Iron Chess Maiden says Svidler will win the cup. Let's hope so, but not if he keeps playing moves like 2 bishop c4 every game. This is what he did today, and he did not get very far against Mr. Bu Shangji, who eliminated the world champion Magnus Carlsen. And I wonder, even though Magnus has been an outspoken proponent of this format, he was probably quite happy, and I guess so were most spectators, that his title was not on the line. Still alive, kind of. What's going on here? Egal, big champion of chess. A4, he goes A5. And it looks like one of these dullish Jocko pianos that they are playing with both colors every other game nowadays. He refuses to castle, which I'm not sure I can blame him for. Sometimes going G5 followed by G4 very quickly is an option in these positions after white castles and played h3. And since he keeps waiting with queen e7, I thought it's my duty to do something in the center by playing d4. And now knight a3, knight b5 looks like one half sensible way to use that. He played a5, not a6, which has pros and cons. I can't expound on the queen side, but I can put something on b5. Grandmaster Lee insights. So what are we talking about in the chat? This format makes no sense to design the world champion. Imagine ending with Nair as a world champion. That's what Galactic says. Yeah, we've had those things like in the early 2000s, right? With mixed results. Vichy won one, then Khalifman won one, then Ponomarev, Kazimchanov, and so on. So yeah, it's an exciting system, but in general it felt like the winners weren't really broadly accepted as world champions. Therefore, the system was not abandoned, but redone into the World Cup. Which made sense to me, because the World Cup is an exciting event. But I've always been a fan of chess history and the matches for the World Championship. is still the biggest ticket chess has and the one that brings most of the media attention, blah, blah, blah. So I think it would be a great pity if we got rid of the match for the crown. And probably, well, I can't speak for Magnus, but possibly after this near-death experience, he's happy that he can defend his title against the winner of the next candidates tournament. Even though, of course, we cannot conclude too much from one World Cup. But maybe that's the point. We can't conclude too much from it, and therefore it should not be the World Championship format. And what's going on here? I picked up a piece somehow, right? It felt like I won a piece somewhere. So I should try to hang on to that piece. Gimme more. What are we talking about? Oof, I'm sweating like a madman. I do have these like AC thingies. I'll switch one on and then see how much protest we get. Because I'll chalk it up to my... I'll blame the man flu. It's always hot in here, but today I just can't take it. Not gonna be able to do it. Lefty John in the house. He's asking, is this gonna be Octopus Night? Nah, Octopussy... I believe that is the plural of Octopus Night. Octopussy nights are typically on D6, not on C6. So I do not think that's an octopus. That's just an extra night. Because I'm still fairly convinced, I haven't counted for a while, that I managed to pick up a piece somewhere earlier. See, Hernandez is wondering, can't you guys get like opium over the counter on Germany? I'm guessing he means over the counter, under the counter in Germany? Over the counter? I don't think so. Can we get opium over the counter? And is that good? I did watch the show Silicon Valley. And when TJ Miller or Erlich Bachman retires to that opium den, it does not look like a good career move to me. So I've always doubted the positive effects of opium. But I'm really not an expert. In Batman Begins, is that also where he gets his training, in opium den? I'm not well educated on the topic, so I will look into it, both into the effects of opium and into my chances of pursuing opium over the counter in Germany. But I have not heard of many people doing that. Believe it or not even marijuana is legal in Germany. Or is it? I'm so out of touch. No, I'm pretty sure it's not. Chess player 007 is saying, Jan, play some bad openings for you like the Dutch, the French, etc. I'll never play the French. I could maybe, even though it would cause me great pain, play the Dutch for one game. The French is a no-go. I should try to bring more pieces into the danger zone while we are waiting for me to win on time, just to pass the time. Or just move them away from the danger zone to capture a pawn. Those are the options. All alone in the danger zone. And now after rook e4, I will have the brilliant combination queen takes f6, which I will be very, very happy about. It's not even a combination, it's just a move. Pin. our dear friend Pramod, while I blunder a piece, but win on time with knight c6, queen d5, is asking me to play openings like Rapport and Jobava, 1b3, 1 knight c3, etc. It feels almost unfair these days when Jobava and Rapport are playing normal openings, right? They're both still in the World Cup, so maybe the crowd favorites sticking around is a good thing. The thing is, I don't think it would make my edge a lot smaller to play b3 or knight c3, and we wouldn't learn anything because it would ruin any potential for me to explain anything. So I can do it if you guys think it's more amusing, but I don't really think it helps us all that much. This guy goes 1 e4, so I can't play the French. What can I do? What would entertain you? The Alekhine? He goes d3. I don't know what to do. d5? ed, knight d5. Now I already have a good position. So having played d3, which you shouldn't do, I feel e5 is the most critical move. Because now I've already claimed a stake in the center. And of course that's not the end of the world for white, but in order to fight back he has to move his d-pawn, for example, for the second time. So this is a fairly good outcome of the opening for me. Knight b4 has the point that if he goes d4 I can take. After knight d4 I have queen takes d4, queen takes d4, followed by knight to c2. Therefore I stopped him from going d4, which is a strategic achievement. And now I can probably go bishop f5, which is stronger, right? I was just gonna go all positional and go knight back to c6 to stop d4, and then bishop e3. So this looks like a better move. Just targeting this Mr. Pawn on d3. And C. Hernandez. I'm not one to call out people on their spelling, because I just can't type at all. Like, I know how to spell, but not how to type. So I always have multiple typos in whatever I'm saying. But I struggle deciphering. What are you saying? I suggest a hot toddy or 3? What's a hot toddy? Maybe I just don't speak English. Maybe his spelling was fine. I just don't know what a hot toddy is. Both these things are entirely possible. I took a pawn. Yay me. Oh, he didn't take. That's... gotta applaud the spirit, but it's also a mistake, because knight d2, he can't castle, and my queen on d3 is just a lot more dominant than the white queen. So it's an unpleasant situation, a sad situation for Jan Poss. Maybe he's also called Jan. Maybe his last name starts with Poss, or he thinks Jan Me is a positional player. But even if he thought that, would he name himself after that insight? Would he call himself Jan Poss because I'm a positional player that just played g5? I don't know. And it looks like we learned something. A hot toddy is hot tea plus whiskey plus honey. I've been doing the hot tea plus honey because I ran on some internet site, and I believe everything that is said on the internet, that honey is one of nature's antibiotics. I've been skipping the whiskey. So does that lessen the impact? Rookie 1. I don't know what to do, Jan Poss. Let's castle. What happened today, by the way? Did Giri lose? I think I just read that Giri lost to Chucky. Looks like Mr. Chucky has shown up to spoil everybody's party. He kicked out Kramnik. Now he's leading 1-0 versus Mr. Anish, who's been, well, he's still in, but he's looked slightly shaky throughout the tournament. And now he's staring down the eve of disaster. I'm not making sense, but you're used to that. Against Chucky Boy. Lefty John says he hasn't liked whiskey since high school graduation. And I have a feeling Lefty John is not a young man. Correct me if I'm wrong here. So he has not enjoyed his whiskey for a long time. I'm not making any sense, as usual. Rook e3, but then queen c2 maybe. Yeah. My point, if you can call it point, was that I might win my material back with knight c2. But it was hardly necessary. And kudos to Jan Poss from Austria for hanging around. What health advice am I getting? It's the lemon that's optional, the whiskey is required. I'm gonna have to look into that. I'm not a big drinker, which might surprise you. Like, you can be a depressed mess without drinking much. But yeah, I've never been a heavy drinker. And yeah, I don't know. Feels like it's never too late to pick up serious drinking, but it's nothing that is very high on my bucket list. It's not like I don't drink alcohol, but somehow in spite of my Germanness, I've never really liked the taste of beer, and I never got the, like, having a couple of beers socially. So when trying to get drunk on beers, it seems like a lot of work, first of all, and normally it only leads to me getting a headache. So yeah, not a big beer guy, and I don't know. It also feels slightly weird to drink spirits socially, therefore I don't know. I probably have to discover wine and become a wine connoisseur at my advanced age, and then be able to give speeches about, oh, can you taste the fruity note on this? I can't even name a wine. On this fruity wine. So yeah, that's something I should be looking into. But for now, not gonna be able to do it. As for the game, the plot is thickening because I have two bishops and Jan Poss only has a horse. So that balance does favor me. And the end is near. Pramod NVS is observing. Wow, Jan is running out of topics today. Did I not entertain you with the wine topic, Pramod? Then, in that case, I want to apologize. Because it is the main goal of this show is to make every topic relatable for Pramod. And if we ever run out of topics that Pramod can engage with, then this show no longer has a purpose. And I don't want that to happen. So let's make sure to get back on safe territory. Pramod, have you seen any DC superhero shows recently? Is it DC? The Defenders is Marvel, right? Like all this junk that you're watching, like Arrow and The Flash. Are those DC heroes? I think those are probably DC heroes. But I could be wrong. And let's play another game of chess. What about... I'm so sorry, Teufel. I want to play you, but you're 1643. And according to the very strict rules of this program, you don't qualify. Therefore, I'm gonna play against Petty Westside. If I can. If I can't, I won't. Wouldn't be a lovely Chess 24 show without some issues. And here we go. Pramod MVS is back on track. Flash Arrow are DC. Defenders are Marvel. But Pramod, can you tell us, will the Flash and Arrow, and I'm sure there's some girl in the mix as well, will they unite to form their own super team, like the Justice League? And will that be its own series? So that all these, let's say, 60 hours of your life that you invested following the plot of The Flash and his high school sweetheart or whatever is happening in that show, and Arrow, what's Arrow? It's some witch weirdo returning from an island. It's some Castaway plot. Okay, I know too much about these things. But still, these 50 hours that you wasted on watching these shows will all be a big payoff when they unite to fight evil. Like the Defenders are doing now. Is that what it's all about? Could it be that DC and Marvel have similar strategies with their series there? Rebecca is asking about Eurobasket. Nah, I'm not watching Eurobasket. I should though. Okay, let's focus on the game versus Petty Westside. So far, Petty Westside has played perfectly reasonable. He's played the Rubinstein French. Knight takes, followed by Bishop d3. It's not a main line. And after DC, Bishop takes c5. Black's position looks very, very healthy to me. I will do something slightly out of character and pretend to play aggressively. I don't even know how to do that credibly. Or it looks bad to me. Bishop g5, Queen a5 check, or Queen b6. I'm already unhappy. Oh, and I was right. Pramod tells us Flash Arrow Supergirl Legends of Tomorrow. Is that what they're called? Came together in few episodes. I'm sure there's a new series looming. Please research that. In this position I have to play h4, honoring Shakhonsky. And no, I'm not watching any of these shows. C. Hernandez is saying Mystery Man was freaking awesome. Mystery Man? Isn't that some spoof on the very serious genre of superheroes? Where every other movie we're watching is superheroes. So this must be a very important topic of our times. Like random kids that have an accident and emerge with special powers and then fight villains that also had an accident and emerge with special powers. Seems to be like 90% of the stories that we should tell. Or maybe these superheroes can team up and then start fighting amongst each other like the Avengers. There's endless possibilities of important stories to be told and milking that IP. Can I go Bishop h7 check? Now I feel like I made progress because I've hurt his pawn structure. Bishop h7, I'll do it just for cuteness sake. Pawn is just king h7, rook d7, and the rook will be annoying on the 7th rank. Let's answer some more important questions. Rebecca is asking, you watched Stranger Things, Jan? I did watch Stranger Things. I enjoyed it. I enjoy like stuff about kids riding around on bikes, being up to stuff. Like taking us back to the easier time that were the 80s. When kids didn't have the internet, but they had their bicycles. Alex 10 asks, do you have Netflix? I do have Netflix. Pramod NVS says, Stranger Things has a poor season finale. Yeah, it's not about how they're dealing with the monster. It's about the kids dealing with bullies, riding around on bikes. It's like Goonies, Stand By Me. I enjoyed it. Let's checkmate Petty Westside, because I'd enjoy that too. In order to checkmate, we first have to check. Isn't that right? King f8. Now we have to threaten a check. Then hope it will be made. Tough to defend against this Queen d2 little move. Rook e7 is the best move I can think of to meet Queen h6 with King e8. But even then, the king looks fairly unhappy, stuck in the middle. Okay, maybe just remove my rook, threatening more checks. So things don't look good. Nova Elite Ger says, can you speak please German too? I will speak a lot of German tomorrow and the day after tomorrow when I will be doing World Cup commentary in the lovely language of German. So check that out. What time is it? I gotta start the anniversary tournament soon, I guess, but we should be able to get in maybe 2 more games. Is that a fair goal? Or did we break stuff again? Oh, we didn't break stuff again. Nah, so far we good. And let's play against Himst. If we can. Looks like stuff is happening. But we're used to that. No. Here we are, Mr. Himst. He goes knight f3. What can I do against knight f3 to entertain you? I could play f5. What are we talking about? Zeelandsen is asking, Jan, do you go out of your way to play outside? What does that mean? To play outside? To leave the house? I'm not sure about the definition of playing outside. I do spend some time outside. I do this grandmasterly thing to go for walks. That's what chess grandmasters like to do. They walk around. It feels very healthy, taking in the fresh air. It's weather went to... Can I say went to shit? Nah, probably I can't. The weather went bad again in Hamburg, so it's been raining a lot today. But I spent some time walking around. But no, I don't play much outside. Or do we mean play chess outside of the country of Germany? Or outside of the country of Hamburg? The country of Hamburg? It's not technically a country. See? Delusions of grandeur. That's what us people from Hamburg suffer from. Himst is apparently giving me a pawn. I'll take it. Gazbob is saying, but these days grandmasters are all about the gym, right? It's bit spirit of the times, right? Narcissism is looming. There's more gyms all over the place. It's just a bigger part of culture for anybody, not just chess grandmasters, than it used to be. And yeah, I go to the gym, as you can see from my hulkish appearance. Now that I've been wrestling with this crushing flu. Maybe it's just a cold. Even calling it a flu might be exaggerating. But I haven't been to the gym for a week. So that's probably good, because it gives me a slightly more relatable human experience without being super jacked as I normally am. Like sometimes if my physique gets too intimidating, when it gets too Bane style, I do wear a suit. That makes me look a little more relatable, because it's, yeah, if you're too much of a menacing presence, it can distract from the highly entertaining chess that we play. And since I go to great length to cover that highly entertaining chess in detail, like in this game where I've explained every move both I and Hims have made in fantastic detail, then it would sort of, undermine the purpose of this show, which is to educate, first of all. Zeelandsen. Probably this is once again my lack of native English that is stopping me from understanding you. He said, I meant play out in the sun or shade with butterflies landing on the pieces, etc. I don't think I've ever done that, literally. Like play chess outside? Why would you do that? Sounds like a horrible idea. We started playing chess so we don't have to go outside in the first place, right? I went b6 because I finally want to move this bishop without having to think about queen b7. Of course, I could have gone bishop f5, and had I thought about queen b7, bishop b1, I would have done that, but I was not able to do it. C. Hernandez is saying he does not believe every grandmaster is going to the gym, saying a stiff breeze would knock over Giri or Ho Yifan. I don't know. Have you seen Geary's arms on these recent pictures? I think there's something happening. Like Geary was on the record saying that it was the first time he attended a gym, I believe during this year's Sinkfield Cup. Was it last year's? Maybe last year's Sinkfield Cup. Yeah, I think last year's Sinkfield Cup. Maybe he didn't play this year's. I don't remember stuff. But anyway, I've noticed something, Anish. I've noticed something going on with your arms. I have a feeling there's some secret workouts taking place. And Pramod MVS says GNyan, which probably stands for good night. I could be wrong. He says, I have to attend night duty. Hang in there, Pramod, and best of luck with your night duty. I'm curious what Pramod does for a living. Have we ever established that? I thought it was computer stuff, but recently he said something. Like, I'm not a programmer, so what is it that you have to do for night duty, Pramod? Is it like a banter tone session? That's my typical night duty. Those are tough. Lefty John is saying, in the park in New York City. Oh yeah, I've been there plenty. I've been to Washington Square plenty. I always like to play dumb. Well, not really. I can pretty much stay in character as a German tourist. The problem is it's hard to get payouts after I won my $5. But it's fun, yeah. I've been a lot to Washington Square. As for this game, Himst is hanging in there nicely. I haven't counted the pawns for a while. I have a feeling I'm still ahead in the pawn count. Am I? 1, 2, 3 versus 4. Yeah, I was 1 pawn up. And now I just played the very annoying bishop to b4. Keeping an eye on this horsey and on this pawn. And that overloaded Himst. And his resources. Oh, and we get information from Pramod. I work in an air separation plant as a chemical engineer. Produce oxygen, nitrogen, and argon. Sounds complicated, but I like that you produce oxygen because I'm not an expert, but I've been told that we need oxygen to breathe. Is that accurate? Secondly, it does sound like you're one lab accident away from becoming either a superhero or a supervillain. And I'm not sure with you, Pramod. Like, I don't think you have a mean bone in your body. But still, that lab accident could turn you into a supervillain because you have all this education of watching all these DC and Marvel shows. So, I'd be slightly scared about Pramod as... I don't know, what could you be? Dr. Sharkopus? I'm scared about that scenario, Pramod, so be careful not to mix up your chemical engineerings there. Because, you know, these lab accidents, they can happen in a heartbeat. Alright, I won this game. Yay me. Let's play one last game before we move on seamlessly to the next show, the great anniversary celebration. It's a celebration, baby. And when this tournament starts. And Shaba is saying he's not producing argon. He's merely separating it from the air. I don't want to know the details, but I'm very, very worried about Mutant Pramod that could result if anything goes wrong there. Like, you would hope he'd become a good X-Men, but as I said, I have a feeling there is potential for the dark side as well. Oh, I should probably show you guys a game I'm playing against Makar Tractor. Here we go. 156 places still free in the tournament? That's insane. No one's joining? Looks like the promotion machine has not really run. Probably we should tell people about such tournaments in order for them to have anybody joining, right? How can I do this? I can probably... show you the link. Or I could show you the link later, like Richard Linklater. But yeah, follow this link or better click on it in the chat and sign up. If you're watching this on YouTube days later, it's probably too late. And what's going on here? Knight h5. Let me go here. Oh, we only have 8 minutes and 29 seconds to finish this game. Can I show you that? Probably not. Because then the tournament starts. Oof. I might not make it out here without my own lab accident. If we can call this studio a lab, which I'm not so sure about. But it would be weird if after all my worries about Pramod mutating, which I believe supervillain Pramod is a real scenario. I'm not joking about that. And we should warn people about it. These are serious times with all these nature catastrophes. And of course our thoughts are with the victims of the hurricanes. But that does not mean that we should not be cautious about Pramod as well. I should take that back. That didn't come across right. My apologies. As for the game, I don't know what I'm doing. I never know what I'm doing. That is a big problem. And I feel like this show has not gone well because I failed to make it interesting. I did not play anything interesting, or I did not explain anything interesting. I mainly whined about my man flu and about my lack of progress in life. So it's been pretty much a regular show. Therefore, I guess, mission accomplished. Duke Crusher is asking, when does this start? It starts in like 6 minutes, so sign up now for the great tournament. And then we will move seamlessly to the next show, the Great Anniversary Tournament, with like 5 people playing in it, where I will hopefully crush these 5 people. If not, I promise I will bitterly complain about it. And the lack of justice, not only in the tournament, but in the world. My car Tractor is playing very well. Might crush me genuinely in my last game of the day. I thought I'd done something clever, but now I no longer think so. Duke Crusher is wondering, is it rated, this tournament? I have no idea. Are you worried about losing your precious Chess24 online rating? I'm guessing it's rated, right? Gustav Chatterjee #1 is asking, will Jan switch streams again? I will switch streams, but not again, because it would be the first switch streamer-roo we're doing today. It feels like the tables have turned, because e4 is very awkward for him to meet. If he goes to c7, I can take the very important pawn on b7, while other squares were not really available. If he went to b6, I would take that as well. And you do the math. That's why I played g3, so the knight could not go to f4. Queen a3, counterplay. He's planning to go knight to b5. Should I play one active move? Let's play one active move. One active move per show, I believe, can be justified. Even though it's probably a bad move, as most of my attempts to make one active move backfire in a horrible, it's a combination of horrible and terrible, horrible fashion. here after f5. I still don't know what to do. Well, I'll do something. Knight g5. The tournament starts in 3 minutes, so I better checkmate my dear boy, Mr. Makar Tractor, in those 3 minutes. Rook e8. He's so cautious not to get checkmated. I don't enjoy that quality in people. The clock is ticking. Probably I'll get forfeited for the first round, but I'll still crush all of you. There's no way I'm giving Makar Tractor a pass here. Just not going to be able to do it. Give me that. Oh, oh, we're close. We're close. Oops, bad pre-move. He could go knight f6, and he does go knight f6. All right. Still hoping that he gets saved by the bell of the tournament beginning before I manage to checkmate him. But I think I'll make it, Makar Tractor. Sorry. You have a check. Give the spy check. No, he doesn't. And I'm being told we still have 2 minutes, 20 seconds until the tournament begins. So that means I should wrap up this show instantly. Probably clean my nose. And I'll see you guys in the next show in like 2 minutes. So this is not the longest break in the world. Thank you so much for joining this program. Me talking nonsense, not explaining anything, while barely beating 1600 players or below. It's been a blast. See you in the next one. Bye.